Hello everyone, my name is Ma Jingyii and my student number is A199084. Today I will talk about my role and findings from the street interview. First, I will explain what I did in assignment 3. As a field reporter, I was responsible for the street interview part. My work included question design, street interviews, video recording, response summary, and interview video editing. Before the interview, I helped design the questions. I wanted the question to be simple and easy to answer. At the same time, the question had to contend with our topic about toxic bosses, work behavior, and leadership. For the street interview, I mainly used two questions. The first question was, what is the worst behavior a manager can have? The second question was, should managers follow employee personal social media accounts? These two questions help us understand public opinions about bad management, workplace respect, and personal boundaries. During the interview, I approached people and asked for their opinions. I also recorded their answers for our video. This part was a little challenging because some people were busy or shy, so I had to speak politely and make them feel comfortable. After collecting the answer, I summarized the main points. I also added the straight interview video. I arranged the clips, put the question and the answers in order, and made the video clear for the audience. Now I will talk about the key findings. The first finding is respectful leadership. Many people said that shouting at employees or criticizing them in public is bad manager behavior. This can make employees feel scared, uncomfortable, and less willing to share their real opinions. So a good manager should speak respectfully. A manager can be strict, but they should not hurt employees or embarrass them in public. The second finding is healthy boundaries. Some people said that managers should not always contact employees after working hours. If there is an emergency, it may be acceptable. But if managers send messages every night and accept quick replies, employees cannot really rest. This can affect work-life balance. Employees also need personal time, family time, and time to relax. Another boundary issue is social media. Some response say the linking may be okay because it's professional, but Instagram and TikTok are more personal. If managers follow employees' private accounts, employees may feel nervous and less free to express themselves. So I think personal social media should be a choice. It should not become a workplace requirement. Through this assignment, I learned several things. First, I improved my confidence. At first, I was nervous to interview people, but later, I can become more comfortable. Second, I learned to listen carefully. A field reporter should not only ask questions, but also understand the answers. Third, I improved my communication skills. I learned how to talk to people politely and how to make them feel comfortable. Most importantly, I learned that real public voices are important. They made our project more realistic and relatable. In conclusion, my role was to design questions, conduct a street interview, record answers, summary response, and edit the interview video. My main finding is that people want good leaders to be respectful, fair, and aware of personal boundaries. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is TIANTIAN, and today I will present my individual presentation titled The Employee Experience Under the Toxic Leadership. This page about introduction. In assignment 3, our group explored toxic leadership from different perspectives. My role was a former employee, focusing on how toxic leadership affects employees emotionally and professionally. In this presentation, I will discuss my contribution, key findings, and personal reflection. My role in Assignment 3 was a former employee. I contributed by sharing workplace experience and I representing the employee perspective. I also connect theoretical concepts with real-life situation and spoke the group discussion. Okay, from my analysis, several behaviors are commonly associated with toxic leadership. One common behavior is sending message after work hours and expecting immediate responses. Another behavior is constant criticisms without providing support or constructive feedback. Employee may also experience excessive pressures and unrealistic expectations. Some leaders fail to recognize employees' efforts and contribution. Poor communication and unclear work boundaries further increases stress and frustration. So, although these behaviors may seem minor individually, together they created a negatively and unhealthy work environment. Okay, our discussion showed that toxic leaderships affect employees both emotionally and professionally. Employees often experience stress, lower confidence, and emotional exhaustion. This challenge can reduce motivation, disrupt work and life balance, and increase this intention to leave the organization. So you guys can look at this simple flow chart. It's like stress, burnout, and resignation. Okay, I read this page about personal reflection. This project helped me understand the importance of leadership in the workplace. I learned that the respect, communications, and clean boundaries are essential for the healthy workplace environment. These qualities help employees feel valued and supported. Okay, in conclusion, toxic leaderships can negatively affect employees and organizations. Creating a supportive and respectful workplace is important for employees' well-being and long-term success. So personally, I believe that employees are not machine. We are human beings, right? And we all need a healthy balance between the work and life. Work is important, but enjoy life is important too. Okay, thank you for listening.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is YUNZHENG. In assignment 3, our group made a TV talk show talk cycles of strong leader. I was a corporate consultant. My job was to talk about leadership and workplace culture. Today, I will talk about my work and my main idea. As a corporate consultant, I look at the topic from the company side. I talk about how a manager can affect workers and the whole company. My work covered 4 main points: message after work, public criticism, personal privacy, and support for new workers. I also gave some simple ideas for companies. Companies can give training, clear rules, fair feedback, and safe way to report problems. These actions can help workers feel safe and respect. One main idea was different between strong leader and the toxic boss. A strong leader can be strict and ask workers to do better. But a strong leader also give clear help, fair feedback, and respect. A toxic boss use fear and control. For example, a good manager may say, "These reports need more detail." This is talk about the work. But the toxic boss may say, "You are useless." This attacks the person. Good feedback help people improve. Bad words only make people afraid. So, be strict is not always bad. The key is how the leader speak and act. Another important point was workplace boundaries. Sometimes there is real emergency, so a manager may need to send a message after work. But this should not happen every day. Workers need time to rest, to sleep, and be with family. The main problem is when the boss wants to answer at once. We also talk about social media. LinkedIn is for work, but Instagram and TikTok are more personal. Workers should not feel forced to share their private life with managers. A healthy workplace should respect personal time and personal space. Toxic leadership is also a company problem. A good workers may leave when they feel tired, ignored, or disrespected. This can hurt the company. Companies should act early. First, they can give more tools to need workers. Second, managers can give clear and fair feedback. Third, companies can set clear work hours. Fourth, workers should have a safe place to report serious problems. Managers should also know how to speak, listening, and guide their team. Training takes time, but it can help workers and the company. This assignment taught me that leaders can shape the whole workplace. When leaders use respect, trust, and support, workers feel more confidence. They may work better and share more ideas. When leaders use fear, workers may become quiet and fear to make mistakes. I also learned how to speak from a professional role. I learned how to work with different group members and connect different ideas. Each person had a different role, so our talk show showed the topics from many sides. My final assignment is simple. A strong leader helps people grow, a toxic boss makes people feared. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is XIAODAN. Today I would like to present my personal contribution and the findings from assignment 3, which was a talk show titled Taxi Boss or Strong Leader. In this project, I served as the host of the program. Besides hosting, I was also heavily enrolled in script writing and video editing. Therefore, I participated in almost every stage of the project, from planning and content development to recording and post-production. In this presentation, I will discuss my contributions, the challenges I faced, the findings I gained, and the lessons I learned throughout these experiences. My contribution to this project went beyond being the host. First, I was responsible for hosting the talk show and guiding the discussions throughout the program. Second, I contributed significantly to the script writing process. I developed the decisions, questions, organized the structure of the show, and ensured that the content followed logically from one station to other. In addition, I edited the final video. This includes allocating skills, improving translations, and ensuring the final product met the submissions requirements. Because I was included in both planning and post-production, I gained a broader understanding of the project than simple participating in front of the camera. Through this project, I identified several important things. First, employees generally value repeat and communication more than authority online. Second, public satisfaction often damages confidence and motivations rather than improving performance. Third, activity leadership requires a balance between meeting standards and showing empathy. I think a leader should be able to guide employees without creating unnecessary fear or pressure. Finally, trust is essential in workplace. Relationships employees are more likely to contribute positive when they feel respected and supported. One of the biggest challenges was maintaining a consistent quality standard throughout the project. As someone responsible for script writing and video editing, I paid close attention to content quality, presentation electricitiveness, and production standards. However, I discovered that team members often had different expectations regarding progression, communication, and final output quality. Participation levels were also not always equal. Some members contributed more actively than others, which required addition and coordination and effort. The editing process further highlighted how preparable and the communication directly influenced the quality of the final product. Although these challenges increased the workload, they also helped me develop strong leadership and project management skills. The most important lesson I learned from this project is that teamwork doesn't automatically generate quality outcomes. I learned that confidence and competence are not always the same thing. Some ideas may sound convincing, but effectively, decisions should always be supported by evidence, preparation, and logical reason. I also realized that the quality of contribution should be evaluated by its substance rather than the confidence with which it's presented. In group decisions, the loudest opinion is not always the most accurate one, and the most popular decisions is not always the most attractive one. I learned that agreement does not always mean correctness. Therefore, it's important to evaluate ideas based on quality rather than the number of people who support them. Most importantly, I learned to choose my own judgment. There were mentions when it would have been easier to simply follow the majority opinion. However, I realized that generally learning comes from critical thinking, responsibility, and the awareness by conclusions that are supported by evidence. In conclusion, this project helped me improve my communication, leadership, script writing, and video editing skills. As a host, scriptwriter, and video editor, I learned how to coordinate different tasks, service problems, and maintain quality throughout the project. Most importantly, I learned that a responsibility and critical thinking are often more valuable than simply being the loudest voice in the room. Thank you for your listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Chen JUNBO, and today I will present the topic Toxic Leadership, Stress and Employer Burnout. As a psychologist, I study how the workplace affects people's mental health. Today, many employers face heavy pressure at work. Sometimes the problem is not only the workload, but also the leadership style. Toxic leadership can increase stress, anxiety, and even burnout. In this presentation, I will explain how toxic leadership affects employers, what the warning signs are, and how we can protect our mental health. So, my role is to understand people's emotions and behavior in the workplace. I focused on three important areas. The first is workplace stress. The second is the employer burnout. The third is mental well-being. In my group discussion, I explained that mental health is becoming increasingly important in today's workplace. For this presentation, I would like to go one step further and explain why burnout happens and how employers can protect themselves. First, let's look at the toxic leadership. A toxic leader often criticizes employees in public, give unrealistic expectations, or make employers feel afraid. When people work in this kind of environment, they experience constant stress. Over time, this stress becomes anxiety. Employers may start to lose confidence. Instead of thinking critically, they only try to avoid making mistakes. As I mentioned in our group project, repeat criticism can make employers feel unsafe in the workplace, and fear can reduce creativity. Another problem is constant ability. Some employers feel that they must answer work messages after office hours. Without enough rest, stress becomes stronger, and it can affect sleep, mood, and motivation. Now, let's talk about burnout. Burnout is not a simple feeling tired after one busy day. It is a long-term state of emotional and mental exhaustion. Some common warning signs include poor sleep, low motivation, emotional exhaustion, and constant tiredness. Some people also lose interest in their work. Others become very quiet during meetings, avoid communication, or become afraid to make decisions. If someone feels fear, anxiety, or sadness every week before going to work, it may be a warning sign that the problem is no longer normal workplace stress. After learning about this topic, I realized that good leadership is not only about achieving good results. It is also about protecting employers' mental health. If employers experience toxic leadership, they should not blame themselves. Instead, they should talk to someone they trust. Ask for professional help if necessary. And remember that protecting mental health is not unprofessional. A healthy workplace should allow people to work hard without feeling afraid every day. To conclude, toxic leadership can lead to stress, anxiety, and employer burnout. By recognizing the warning signs early and creating support workplace, we can improve both mental health and work performance. Finally, I would like to leave you with one simple message. Mental health matters. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is ZHIQI, and today I will present my topic, how manager can be filled without becoming toxic. In this presentation, I will explain my role in the project, discuss our findings, and share my personal reflection on effective leadership. Introduction. Leadership plays a significant role in shaping workplace culture. Many people think that strict managers are always toxic, but this is not necessarily true. A manager can set high standards while still treating employees with respect. Good communication helps employees understand expectations, while mutual respect building trust and teamwork. Therefore, the key is finding the right balance between authority and empathy. Today, I will explain why this balance is so important in creating a healthy workplace. My role and contribution. In Assignment 3, I took the role of a former team leader. My responsibility was to analyze leadership from a manager's perspective. I combine different leadership styles and examine how managers communicate with employees. I also review interview responses, organize our group discussion, and help analyze the information collected during the project. Through this project, I gain a better understanding of how leadership behavior influence employees' motivation and confidence and workplace relationship. Our key finding. Based on our interview and discussion, we found several important points. First, most employees actually assess managers as long as they are fair and respectful. Second, respect improves employees' motivation. They are more willing to work hard when they feel valued by their manager. Third, effective communication helps misunderstanding and reduce unnecessary conflict in the workplace. We also find that fair treatment builds trust between manager and employees. Healthy feedback encourages employees to improve, while toxic behavior often causes stress, analysis, and low job satisfaction. These findings show that being strict is not the problem. The real problem is how managers communicate and treat their employees. This project changed my understanding of leadership. Before conducting this research, I believed that strict management usually creates a negative working environment. However, now realize that leadership requires balance. A good manager should combine authority and empathy. Respect helps build teamwork, trust improves performance, and communication is essential for solving problems effectively. As a future employer and perhaps a future leader, I hope to communicate with others respectfully and communicate improving my leadership skill. To conclude, being fair doesn't mean being toxic. Strict leaders set clear expectations, communicate effectively, and trust employers with fairness and respect. These qualities help create a healthy workplace culture, improve employer performance, and encourage long-term success. Thanks for your listening.
Good morning, everyone. My name is HAOTIAN. Today, my topic is workplace challenges faced by new graduates. I will talk about my role. Contributions main challenges key standings and chosen or pre-election. Moving from university to worker is a big change. At school where we mostly learn theory, but real worker requires practical skills. Many graduates feel lost, nervous, and under pressure. In this presentation, I will share the real difficult. Tis we face, and workers kind of support helps us put fast. In this assignment, I took the role of a new graduate employee. I shared the real feelings and worries of new status. I helped design discussion topics and questions. I explained workers' new employees actually need. This made work group work more realistic and useful. We found four main challenges. First, real worker is different from school. Second, make people are afraid to ask questions. Third, they lack confidence. Finally, they need more training. I learned a lot from this topic. Asking for help is important. With support, new graduates can do well. Thank you for listening. I learned a lot from this topic. Asking for help is important. With support, new graduates can do well. Thank you for listening.